Yeah. Thank you, darlings. No, I can still hear you. Oh yeah, we're on the phone. Right.
Live.
Welcome back to the Braveheart Women's Show here on Docstar TV. I'm your host today, Dawn St. Louis, and I'm filling in for Sharon Cusack and Sam Hopkins today. They are still in Guadalajara, Mexico, healing and recovering from their surgery, their explant surgery that they just had on the 24th. So just a little recap. I mean, this has been an incredible journey to watch. And Sam and Sharon decided that they were going to take their life back and take their health back and set out on a journey to pave the way for other women who might be experiencing these symptoms and emotions behind, putting stuff into the body such as breast implants to make themselves feel better. So it is a great honor to call these two my friend. They're such an inspiration to me. They're role models to me. They have helped me in my own health journey, personally and professionally. And we've got a really special guest today as well, Dr. Buenrostro, who is their surgeon, and they are under his care. Him and his team have been taking care of these two lovely ladies. So yeah, thanks for joining us. And I just want to say, if you could share these videos, never underestimate the power of a seed. If we could just change one life by sharing this video, that'd be incredible. So without any further ado, let's bring on my beautiful friends Sam and Sharon and Dr. Buenrostro. Hi guys.
Hi, thank you, Dawn. You're amazing, and thank you, Dr. Buenrostro, for your patience and of course, there's nothing. I mean, we're in two places in Guadalajara, and then we're in Ixtapa, and there's always things that go on, and this has been just such an incredible journey with beautiful Sam and Lorraine. I mean, Lorraine has she's been just amazing for us, out there shopping and doing all kinds of things and helping with our dressing. I mean, there's no holes barred here. It's just like whatever, who cares? But this whole journey and the fact that we ended up coming across Dr. Buenrostro, and I came across him through a breast implant illness Facebook page before I left Canada, and this is probably about 3 years ago. And it was something that sat in the back of my mind. And then when I met Sam and said, hey, let's look at this journey and let's do our explants together and propose this to Dr. Wolf, and of course it was all in because it's all about the divine femininity and about the fact that we can now go back to our original selves and find that authentic self. It's to do with our inner child and really be able to vibrate at that level. And personally, I didn't realize how these breast implants had impacted me to such a degree. And when I realized that I was in Ixtapa and Guadalajara was only about 6.5 hours drive, I thought, Guadalajara, there's like a doctor that I heard something about in Guadalajara, and I need to go and track him down. And I had communicated with the women on this messenger, and I tracked him down, and I was like, that's the guy. And you know what? He is the guy, and he's been just amazing. And when I was going through my surgery, I said to him, you do what you would do if I was your wife lying there, and he exactly did that. And the impact of my implants were under the muscles, and Sam's are above the muscle. And it's just been such an amazing journey with the staff and everything.
It's been so incredible.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you found this incredible, wonderful doctor. We're so blessed that you're our doctor. We're just, so happy with absolutely everything. It's just been incredible. And the other thing that I was reflecting on recently is how quickly this was turned around. From the moment that we said, right, let's do it, and we spoke to Daryl, it's like things just happened.
It's like
really
6 weeks.
quickly. We're like, we're there already, oh my goodness.
And then we had to kind of like beg Dr. Buenrostro to do us both on the same day.
On a day.
Yeah.
And do you know what, guys? We left here at 6:30 in the morning, and we were back by 6:30 at night. So it's a 12-hour turnaround for us.
Yeah.
It's just staff at the
So
hospital. are
welcome,
amazing.
doctor, and
Yeah.
and please talk to us about. So with 2 different surgeries, I went first, and the implants were under the muscle, and we actually have the beautiful videos that you have on YouTube. I mean, people can watch those videos, and you just look up Dr. Bonrostro, July 24th, and then you got Explant 1, and then you have Explant 2, and you could see both of the videos of our actual surgeries. They're really well done. Thank you for that.
And if I can just say one thing really quick. The first time around when you guys had Dr. Buenrestro on the Braveheart Women's Show a couple weeks back, you guys actually discovered, because he revealed that he doesn't do breast implants any longer because he had done an explant surgery and immediately saw the change in the woman in terms of her health. So that was pretty magical.
Well, because Dr. Bonrostro, you sat with us on our intake appointment,
Yeah.
and we listed out very diligently all these symptoms that both of us were having. We kept going, oh yeah, and there's this one, and there's this one, and there's this one. So please comment to that, doctor, and how that's been working for you as far as the explants, and how you're finding women are their healths are changing after the surgery.
Yeah, well, I've seen that you had that all women after the explant surgery, they have like a 95%. They get better each time. And well, in your case, Sharon, you had the implant below the muscle. Usually, when it's below the muscle, it's more attached. It was attached to your rib cage, so it was a little bit difficult to detach the capsule from your ribs, and it was also a little bit high. So we have to try to protect the muscle left for you to have some more volume.
So the implant, was that especially on my left side, was quite high?
Yes, on the left side it was a little bit higher.
Because it was so attached to the rib cage.
Yes.
And that's where you had to really like what did you call it? Scrape it off of
I had to scrape the rib to be able to take the capsule completely and to not leave anything behind. And with you
I can tell you didn't leave anything behind.
no anything behind.
And I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And you know, when you think of where it was situated, on the other side is the heart. So in our protocols and our strategies, it all starts with the emotions. So when there's emotion of heartache and heartbreak and whatnot, then that creates more inflammation around the heart. So then I had the inflammation on the other side where this scar tissue was wrapping itself around the rib, and then on the inside was my heart. And I felt when it started to swell, and when I was having so many, the last 3 days were a challenge, and so I could feel like so much emotion associated with it, because it was like the heart was trying to heal too as well. It was really
one of the things,
a journey.
yeah, one of the things that most of the patients tell me is that they can, after the explant, they can breathe a lot better. I don't know if you felt that, because it was like the majority of the patients say, oh, after the explant, I started to be able to breathe better. I felt like an oppression on my chest.
Well, I feel I can breathe better on the right side. The left side,
It's going to take a couple more days, maybe.
yeah, it's going to take some time, but I'm so pleased, because I know exactly what you ended up doing, and I know how entangled it was within within the embedding of the ribs itself, and I could tell as soon as not as soon as I woke up, because the anesthetic was still on, but I could certainly tell the next day. But it was really beautiful. And are you finding for the explants, is there more that's under the muscle than on top? Like, what is the percentage of under the muscle versus on top?
It's like 70% under the muscle and 30% above the muscle. Most of
70%
them are below. Most of them are below the muscle.
Wow. Wow.
What determines where these implants go? Is it the shape of the woman's breast? Is it her physique? What is it?
The doctor.
The doctor, yeah.
Usually
What I was told was that putting it under the muscle keeps it softer because the muscle massages it.
And I was told going above the muscle, because I had such little breast tissue, would give a better look. I think it was something along those lines. That's
it's if it's under the muscle, you get a little bit more of a cover. So it's better if you have if you don't have a lot of tissue, it's better below the muscle.
interesting.
Okay. So Dawn, is there any way that we can show the encapsulates of both Sam's and myself, and so the doctor can talk about it?
Absolutely. Okay, so while I get Carla to get the slides ready, Dr. Buenrostro, I've got a couple of questions here for you. Carla, could I get the slides that I sent to you guys? Was there any difference between the other surgeries that you've done so far and then what you saw with Sharon and Sam in terms of, when you opened them up?
Well, they both had a lot of fibrosis. I noticed that the skin of Sam and Sharon was really nice. It didn't have like stretch marks and all that as other patients that I've seen the same age. What I saw, for example, in Sam, is that I found a lot of small tumors all behind above the muscle, and also behind the nipple areola complex, and all of those we had to take them out also.
Which is amazing. So I've watched the video and spoke to our wonderful doctor, and just the fact that he was able to go in and take them out, and then they're just going to go off to the lab and get tested. I just feel so happy that they're out, the implants are out, those lumps have been removed, and whatever comes of that, I'm feel in really safe hands, and I know that we've got the protocols and the nutraceuticals and everything to deal with whatever that outcome is. So mindset-wise, I just feel great. So yeah.
Absolutely.
And what do they test for? I mean, so you got the encapsulates,
Yeah.
and those get sent off, and then Sam's tumors that you removed. So what do they test? Do they test different for the tumors than the encapsulate, or what is it exactly that we are going to look forward to getting back?
The first thing is that the pathologist looks for malignant cells.
Yeah. Okay.
And depending on what they find in this first lookup or testing is if they have to do other tests.
Right.
But the first test it's for malignant cells.
And can they test for heavy metals and different things like that?
Not really, because they put formal, and if you wanna test for heavy metals, there's a different process, and
Right.
we'll have to take some part of that capsule and send it differently.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense. We see, because of our background and the protocols, that we know that fat is the first storage tank for toxins in the body. And then the next concentration storage tank is scar tissue. And so the scar tissue, and that's why you want to get the encapsulate out, because we know that that's full of heavy metals and toxins. And that's concentrated. And it's so wonderful that you could get that all out in that capsule, and what you did as far as Sam's goes, because one was ruptured and one was leaking.
yeah, they were a bit of a mess, right? So thank goodness they're out and with such a professional and precise job being done on them. So thank you.
Yeah, the capsule is the first barrier of defense. It's what helps our body to to leave the foreign object apart from the rest of the tissue. So all the toxins and all what the silicone can leak usually stays inside the capsule if it doesn't break before.
Okay, and were both of our capsules fully intact?
Yeah, we took them intact.
That's amazing. And they, on the videos, they looked
Could we skip this
relatively
slide, please?
thin. That you didn't have to like really, because I've seen some where they're really calcified and you have to really kind of go through them. They look relatively easy to pull apart.
Yeah,
So we're just going to pull up, the capsules right now. We're just going to slip through a couple of slides. Okay, so here are Sharon's capsules with implants still inside. The left implant appeared to be a bit more flat while the other still had roundness to it. Dr. Buenrostro, can you tell us about Sharon's capsules?
Yeah, usually the one that's less brown, it's because it had a little bit more of a contraction. There's more contraction when the muscle is involved, that starts like contracting or doing some pressure on the implant, and also when they're stuck to the rib cage, there's a little more calcification because they are exposed to the calcium of the bone.
Now, did you find with my left one that was quite calcified to the rib cage, was it, in other women that you've seen in situations like this? I had my implants for 25 years. And was it, on a scale of 1 to 10, was it number 10 being the most calcified around that area? Or like, as far as what you've seen in comparison, was it
No, like a 2.
A 2.
That's amazing.
Well, I could imagine a 10.
That's amazing. Good for you, Sharon.
Wow.
So, Dr. Buenrostro, so the darker tissue on Sharon's capsules, that is it, bits and pieces of muscle, right?
Yeah, and it's like the blood vessels that have to be
Cauterized.
cauterized.
Cauterized, yeah.
Okay. Now let's flip through to Sam's capsules. Now, what I found interesting when I saw the YouTube video of her surgery, when you actually cut the capsules open, the calcification was actually right on the implant and you were scraping it.
Yeah, sometimes it's in the implant, and because the textured implants usually the capsule grabs in or attaches more, so some pieces go to the capsule and some of calcium, and some others stay on the implant. So we have to try to scrape to take all the tissue off the implant and give you back your implants.
It's really cool,
Amazing.
I must say.
It is really interesting. It made me feel slightly sick as well, but it is really interesting.
So in the picture, Dr. Buenrostro, those bits and pieces beside the capsules were actually tumors, suspected tumors that you removed from Sam's tissue?
Yeah, they were tumors. I don't know, because we have to wait until the pathologist gives us his diagnosis.
Right.
That's why we have to wait until we have the only way to have what kind of tumors they were. It's with the diagnosis of the pathologist, and we're still waiting for it.
Right.
Yeah, and really the word tumor, I mean, what's happened in the world of the medical world is that tumor has been completely correlated to having cancer. And
Yep.
so it was actually a fibroid, and then they call it a tumor, but it's actually either malignant or benign. And so when people hear the word tumor, now it's like you know, the cancer world. So it's basically a fibroid that has hardened itself to such a degree that it's, and I'm sure with what Sam's help is all about, and the amount of inflammation that, you know, we're just not, we don't run an inflammatory diet, and so with all the nutraceuticals that we've been on, and all the protocols, because I mean, I've been taking infinite iodine and these thunder shrooms that are totally about turning on the immune system so that then I could handle this. Because I'll tell you, over the last 3 days, if I wouldn't have had some of these beautiful products that Dr. Wolf has on, you know, on his website and within our protocols, that there was times where I knew, because I felt like kind of feverish at times, I felt really hot, I felt really shaky, I felt, because all of these things were going on because my body's trying to cleanse what's happening, and it was really helpful.
And we're just so supported by the products. We're both, you know, we've both got tables full of them next to us. We were laughing about your box earlier.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, which one?
Yeah.
And so supported by that, so supported by Lorraine, who's here just helping us through all this, and our doctor and each other, both going through really different stuff, but that is also really helpful in a way. And then what I really sort of thought about is when I got the news there was some tumors removed, my mindset was just like, I didn't worry. It wasn't that initial, oh my God, what is it? I was like, okay, well, let's find out what they are and then we'll take it from there. It wasn't a like immense worry that I would have had before doing this work.
Yeah.
That was the difference.
Tumor is like Sharon said, it can be benign or malignant. Usually they are benign. Yeah, but I didn't find something that could make me think that it could be malignant, but I have to wait until the pathologist gives us the diagnosis.
And we'll get the results and we'll take it from there. It's all good.
And I'd like to talk
even if it was malignant, I mean, we've got the tools.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a problem. It's an inflammation problem, that's all.
I've been using these for 10 months. Like, thank goodness. Wow, amazing.
Exactly.
And I'm healing really well and fast. Yeah. No painkillers, no meds, all with just products and our mindset and how healthy our bodies already are. So it's phenomenal.
It is, it's amazing. And I'd like to comment, because we were talking about it offline when we were getting the sound situation organized for this beautiful interview with you, Doctor, that I was talking about, that you recommended, because I had quite a bit of swelling on my left side because things were just, you know, of course you had to scrape the implant off of my rib. And so you recommended that I go to this beautiful woman by the name of Dr. Mara, Dr. Mara. And so I ended up seeing her yesterday, and she did ultrasound, and really beautiful, and she ended up pushing out like 5 little blood clots that were in there, and really helped things, like turned things around really quickly. But what was really wonderful is that she started off on my back. And the thing is that, and we took pictures of that, because I'm not standing straight right now, because of course all of that, the pectoral muscles, and I was talking to Lorraine and saying that my neck was so sore, and I said it's got to do with all of the muscles, because of how everything is just so intertwined. And I'm still not able to take a deep breath, but she ended up doing the ultrasound on my back and worked all above the lungs on the back side and the upper area, and then moved around to the front and did both breasts and really moved out some of those
under the arms,
clots and under the arms.
Shoulders.
Yeah, and it's so wonderful, because here in Mexico, have these post-surgical doctors. Can you speak to that? I mean, it's amazing as to what they can do.
Is that normal here? Because it's not normal where we're from.
Well, usually there's a lot of like nurses that do the post-op therapies, or there is a rehab doctors that do all these therapies. And here in Mexico, it's usual to have doctors that do the post-op therapies here in Mexico, but as there's a lot, you have to go with the one that that works
Yeah.
Right?
all the equipment.
Yeah.
Well, we've certainly done that, so that's fantastic. It's just beautiful. The whole experience has been amazing.
And your team has just been fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah, really wonderful in the hospital. And I still need to get that picture of shaking your hand because I think that you tried sending it, but I don't know if it ended up, I don't know where it went. But
If I can ask you a couple more questions before you sign off, Dr. Buenrostro. How do you feel about what Sharon and Sam are doing to inspire other women? Because it aligns with your beliefs as well, so we just want to hear from you about it.
I think that it's incredible that you can give your testimony to give your testimony to all these women, and that you can share your experience and what you feel and how you can treat yourself after surgery and all the pre-op preparation that you've had. Also, it will be great that you can share all that with the rest of the patients, because usually, well, I don't give them a lot of pre-op preparation, and well, you can help me with that.
Absolutely. Can I just ask a quick question then? So have you seen a difference in how we've come through this surgery to how other people have come through this surgery in terms of mindset and what we're able to do already and all the rest of it?
Yeah, well, you've said you've not had any painkillers, so anti-inflammatory, you're doing all natural.
Yeah.
So that's amazing.
Great.
Yeah, I didn't take one. I just did my CBD
CBD.
and my curcumin cayenne because we've got this really, really powerful anti-inflammatory called curcumin cayenne. It's 97% curcumin and 3% cayenne, and I took like 12 a day.
Yeah.
And I just, every time I rolled over, it was like, and it went again because I knew I needed to bring this down, and I was trying to do it myself because that's just the way it goes in the Braveheart way. Is I was trying to rub it out and do it myself, but you know, I got a massager trying to, but I knew it was bigger than me. So that's when I was like, okay, I need to call him. When you said, well, the first thing of that morning, yesterday, when you said, did you book some treatments? And I was like, done. Did that first thing. I woke up at 4 and sent a message in the morning and said, can I get in to see you this morning if possible, please? And she got me in at 2 yesterday. So.
And also what's really nice is she's kind of got a holistic way about her, right?
Yeah.
In the terms of that, so that kind of fits really nicely with what we're doing. It doesn't feel like it's a real strong medical approach.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm very glad, honey.
Us Braveheart women are really, we are very well versed in taking massive personal action, and Sharon Cusack is the pillar in the Braveheart community for showing us just how quick you gotta be to take care of yourself and take action for yourself to get the results that you want.
Thank you, love.
Listen
Thank
to
you.
your body. It tells us, right?
You know, and that's what this is all about. This is about inspiring women because, I mean, you know, we have these body images that are created and we can value our bodies and we can value our femininity and in whatever shape and form that we have. And it's so beautiful to have somebody like you, Doctor, that I could connect with, and it's just such a wonderful experience that we both can connect with, and Lorraine as well. Such a wonderful experience, so that then the message can then have somebody that can support it from the medical world. Because I mean, we do need surgeons in this world, and we do need people like you, because I want to direct people to people like women, to people like you, to doctors like you, so that then I can feel confident as being a leader in this community of bringing back our empowerment as divine feminine beings, and to be able to guide them to somebody like yourself and feel so confident that the care and the level of surgery, the level of expertise and the confidence I had, just like I said to you before I went under, I said, you know what? You do what you need to do as if it was your wife lying here, and I trust you. And that's exactly how I felt.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
It's also really wonderful to find a doctor that listened to us about where we were coming from a natural health point of view and be on board with that. because there's such a disconnect between natural health and the medical world, generally speaking, and it's really refreshing. And like Sharon said, we've got total confidence in you, and this opens up a pathway, I think, of connection between the two.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Yeah.
And I would love to open up the door, and if there's anybody that is in need of some pre-care or whatever it is, I mean, this is about a relationship that I like to build and be able to help women so that then they can glide through this, even from the standpoint of a supportive ear, so that I can talk to these women and say, and I've got interpreters available to me, so if there needs to be any there's no language barrier, so that we can then take advantage of that. And that is something that I'd like to offer to you, doctor. And this is something that's really true to my heart.
And we can help then set other women up for this like amazing journey of surgery that doesn't have to be all doom and gloom and awful, because we've had quite a giggle, right?
Yeah.
This has been an amazing, like we've done
Yeah.
nothing but laugh the whole way through it. Maybe
Yeah.
a couple of days of not so much giggle, but just, you know.
Because I couldn't giggle, so
you
because it
couldn't.
hurt to, I was like, okay, I'll just kind of laugh over here, but I'm not gonna.
So yeah, it's like, what can we do to help people prepare for this and
Yeah.
have an amazing experience like we've had?
What are your thoughts, doctor?
Well, just to try to do whatever you be natural, do exercise, try to feel better with each time. Try to, well, eat good, have a healthy diet. All that
Yeah.
works.
Yeah, it does.
It really
And
does.
what we're producing, because Daryl Wolf is just turning on a platform that is going to be the most powerful platform. It's going to be like the Facebook of health in this world, and it's going to be the most powerful natural healing platform on the planet. And so with that platform, I'm going to be creating a one-day masterclass for women from implants to explants to help guide them, so that then they can have a journey that is one of more honor and respect for self, and not have to have the, you know, can be more leveled out in regards to their healing and their realignment journey. And so then there's also going to be other things that are going to be announced. And when that platform gets its speed, be careful, my friend, because your phone's going to ring off the hook, and you're going to say, Sharon, could you just
calm
not
down a
mention
bit?"
me for a few weeks, so that,
Thank you.
I can have a break.
yeah, because you're going to be like, okay, could you just hold off?
Dr. Buenrostro,
Yes.
do you only remove breast implants, or do you remove other types of cosmetic implants as well? I've got a
Yeah.
few women asking, so.
We've removed chin implants, also calf implants. We've removed sutures that have permanent sutures that have been hurting the patient
Okay.
on the face, on the abdomen after tummy tucks. Well, there's different objects we've removed.
And how about cheek implants?
Yeah, I've not removed cheek implants yet.
But
Well,
you could,
chin, yes.
but chin, but you could remove the cheek ones?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And if anybody would like to book with you, how do they do that? And what is the wait time?
You
Average.
can usually, for booking a surgery, it's about 2 months, and for doing the online consultation, it's about 1 week.
Awesome.
And you can go to my webpage. That's www.buenrostro.mx, or to my Facebook. That's dr-buenrostro. Well, that's the Instagram, and the Facebook it's Dr. Ignacio Buenrostro Rubio.
Well, I think that you've been so gracious with your time, doctor, and we had such a delay on getting on today, And this has been wonderful. And it's so beautiful to see your smile,
Yeah.
not behind that mask. And I understand that you're going on a vacation, a much deserved vacation for a week. It'll be good. You can rest up before the storm hits.
Yes, thank you.
And it's been our pleasure. It's been absolutely our pleasure. And it's been my honor to have you as my surgery,
Yeah.
or as my surgeon. And I know that I'm in the best place. And I guess I must ask you, do we have a follow-up consultation via Zoom down the road, or what do we do?
1 month, 3 months, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year. It's a follow-up.
Wow.
Beautiful. So we just booked that via Zoom.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Beautiful. 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and 1 year. Wow.
That's incredible.
I'll feel like you're part of the family.
I know, right?
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Dr. Gwen Rostro, I just want to thank you so much for taking care of my beautiful friends. You know,
Thank you.
it's pretty emotional. And I've known that they're in the best hands right from the beginning, especially when we found out you only do explants now. It's 100% in alignment with what we teach here at Braveheart Nation, and I just want to say thank you so much. You've been wonderful, and a big thank you from here in Ixtapa, Mexico, and I wish you all the best.
Thank
And
you.
have a beautiful holiday.
Enjoy
Yeah.
your vacation.
Yeah.
Enjoy the sun.
Bye.
Thank you, lovely.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Bye.
Bye.
How amazing.
Wow, that was just, I mean, this man is just an absolute gem, an absolute gem. And when when I realized that the depth of the entanglement of this implant within my chest, and realized, when we recognize the heart, okay, the heart has it is the highest frequency organ in the body. And so Daryl did a heart drop on me back in January, where he opened up the calcification and attempted the Wolf non-surgical way to pull the encasement that the heart had created due to all the heartache and all the emotion and all the anguish throughout the years of betraying myself. And that's what it was really about. It was about betraying myself. And that, that was quite a substantial treatment for myself, and it brought me to a place of peace and really allowed me to find joy. But when this ended up taking place, and I knew the depth of and how deep it was, and like I said to Lorraine the other day, I said, this is so deep. And I also sent a message to Dr. Wolf in regards to it, that it was like I was reliving the heart release. And it was so deep, because I know that there was so much inflammation that it's like when he pulled the heart away from the encasement of the calcification, as it had adhered itself to the inside of my ribs, that the inflammation had not gone away on the opposite side of my ribs, which is where the scar tissue formation and all the calcification and all of that inflammation, because of my body trying to get rid of these and walling off these implants. So that scar tissue formation was still, and the inflammation was still running rampant through my body on this side of my ribs. So it was still inflaming my heart on the opposite side. So in my theory, which makes total sense, is that it's still going to calcify the heart. So even though that he moved it and helped pull it away, it's not going to stay like that, because there's a weakness towards that, because I still have further work to do in regards to releasing the emotions of the betrayal that I ended up bringing onto myself over all these years. And so when I was going through these past few days, and it's still happening, is that the emotional release, as I feel the depth, because now Dr. Gwen Rostro, he removed the scar tissue and the entanglement around the ribs from the encapsulate of the implant, that now it's so deep in regards to the emotional component associated with the heart. And what a journey. I mean, it's just, I can't even believe it. And I said to Lorraine, I said, this is really big. This is really big. Yeah, like, what was it, yesterday or the day before? What was the worst? What was the toughest day? I can't
I
remember.
think yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And then waiting for your appointment.
Yeah.
And finally having the appointment
Yeah.
with the doctor who did the ultrasound and then the beautiful massage
Yeah.
afterwards too.
Yeah, it was,
To get the clots out. And
yeah.
while I was there, I filmed it.
Yes.
And as these clots were coming out, you know when you're doing the non-surgical and you know you've got the spot, I personally get like this rush of heat coming right through my body, and that's what I felt when the clots were coming through.
You were getting overheated. You were feeling, you were going into a sweat.
Yes.
Yeah, so the heat was coming off of me as these clots were coming out, which held so much emotion.
Yeah.
And I didn't even recognize it, but I was like in my own zone because there was so much emotion that was coming up. And of course, Dr. Mara.
I had beads of sweat coming off my forehead.
Yeah. So here's Lorraine filming, like standing, above me, not like really over hovering. And she's going into a sweat. I'm having these emotional releases. And here Dr. Mara is really being the most gentle that she can, but she's got to work through this. And then she's apologizing afterwards for the pain. But you know what? I said to her, it was emotional. It was like, I can't even describe it. I'm so glad that
when I was videoing too, she actually showed me what it was that was coming out. I could see blood. It was darker. I didn't know it was clots until she said that's what it was.
Yeah.
So and just the way she massaged with such love.
Yes.
And so much intent in what she was doing. It was beautiful.
That's exactly what we needed.
It's amazing. And it just goes to show the value of our emotional and non-surgical work that we do, because you guys are not sitting there feeling sorry for yourselves anymore. You are all about the solutions. You're all about the healing. So whatever it takes to get there, whether it's painful or not, we have these emotional releases during our, some Wolf non-surgical treatments that Sharon was talking about. But nobody sits there like stroking us. In fact, they're not allowed. Like, we really do not like any pity to go on. It's a release, and it's there for a reason, and it's there for us to process on our own. But what Lorraine is explaining, I think, is more about the frequency coming from Sharon. It must have been so heated for Sharon and such a powerful release that Lorraine's body was picking up on it. And it's just amazing. Us women are so connected.
It's really beautiful, and with the non-surgical, we spoke about this before, how you connect patient to client, client to practitioner, and Lorraine is beautiful with this, and she feels it when she's working on people, so that's definitely what was happening. Mm-hmm. And it's not about having pity or sympathy, it's holding space is what we do for people. Yeah. So we allow that emotion to come out, holding space, but allowing that person to deal with that in the way that they've been trained to, and that's the really important.
Exactly. If somebody says, "Oh, could I have a hand to hold?" or, I'm in need of a hug or a cold cloth, then fine. But otherwise, we don't involve ourselves with other people's healing and, emotional releases. It's so important.
There's an energetic entanglement. So in that moment, there was such an energetic entanglement between the doctor and Lorraine and myself, and so the energy was just moving like this. And what happens is that it can stir up some of the emotions that you maybe haven't dealt with, and some of the things that you still have embedded within your tissues. Because what we're doing with the non-surgical is we're basically releasing the pain of the emotions. Yeah. We're not inflicting any pain onto anyone. Mm-hmm. And so what happens is that in regards to the hand holding and the hugging and the really, all of that, is that we can start influencing that individual that's releasing emotions, because they're at such an open state. So when you're at such an open, energetic state, that the emotions that somebody else hasn't dealt with can then can then be drawn back into me, because it is the infinity. It's
Yeah.
the figure 8. And so that infinity will just bring it back in, because that's how energy works. And so when we can hold space and be very kind and compassionate to the individuals, but it's infinity, and the infinity is what is the important thing.
Absolutely.
And that felt so strongly. And I still need to do, I'm going again right after the show here and having another treatment, because I still need, she recommended 5, but we're planning on leaving on the 31st. And so there still needs to be more drawing out, but it's beautiful. And we didn't really show off our like little catchments, because our is still in here.
Your accessories.
Woohoo! This is the dream right here. So here we are. Sam's is, because hers is very light in color.
Yeah.
Mine's very dark, and it was lighter.
It went dark after your treatment,
Yeah.
didn't it? Changed completely.
Yeah.
And can I just mention our matching trousers? There's a whole road
Yeah.
trip story to go with that.
We're like the Supreme. We all got our third
Three Supreme today. So we're still giggling our way
No.
through it.
Yeah.
Really.
We bought these today before the
Facebook.
surgery. We went on a little spree. So
Can we scroll to?
and I was going to actually grab my actual implants. I meant to actually, so I could show them live. I know you've got a slide. Mine's just sitting in my closet there, Lorraine. And I don't know
I can
where
bring back
yours
mine.
are.
They're just in the bag.
But you know, are you okay there?
Yeah, just got my chewed cord again. It's so hard.
Right there on the bottom there, Lorraine.
Too
Yeah, and I
funny.
think-
You guys are having too much fun.
Out in any way, shape, or form, and this is about empowering you women, because we are on a global march of self-empowerment, and this is what this is all about. So here are mine, all nicely vacuum sealed, and we have, okay, let's see, we have derecho, which is the right, and we have izquierda, and izquierda is the left. So these were like right here, and the weight of them feels, I mean, I can't wait to actually weigh them, because when I think of the actual weight of these sitting in my body and lying on my chest every night when I went to sleep and pulling, and when the doctor said that he was that he noticed that our skin had elasticity, both Sam's and I, for our ages.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. Because I mean, he's pulling down and living the perfect day lifestyle, which is absolutely important, because the strategies associated with that, bringing down the inflammation and using the C60 and using all these wonderful nutraceuticals, that's what this is all about.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've been walking around with our boobs out, because that's what we do, because we're all very close. And they look amazing. They look like, just even the day after, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And he did say, for me, where mine were above the muscle and attached to the skin, and if the skin was really thin, that might break the skin and you would have to stitch parts of the skin. It's not happened. It was the worst case scenario, and it's been absolutely fine. So thank God for C60.
Yeah, and he had to do a
Everything
bit of a lift. He just went around the areola and just brought it up a little bit. But that's when I said to him, I left it up to him, because I felt he was a professional. I had trust in him, and that's when the last thing I said to him before I went under was, if this was your wife here, you do as if this was your wife, and I trust you. And he said it was necessary.
And it's so
And I'm very pleased.
unbelievably neat.
Yeah.
I was so shocked
Yeah, and
at
it's
how
not.
neat your nipples are.
Yeah.
I mean,
Got the neatest nipples in town.
so neat.
Yeah. But you see with Sam's, hers are kind of discolored because they were ruptured.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And flatter.
And
And
flatter,
flat.
and
Yeah, like, look how flat they
they're an
are.
absolute mess, guys. I feel so happy that they're out.
Yeah.
Like,
And thank
Can't
God
even-
we've got products like the black diamond crystals that, go in there with and drop off nutrients and carry out all those toxins and the metals and whatever was in those implants. I mean, I don't know. Thank God we have the C60 and just everything that we use to stay.
to pull everything that shouldn't be there out of the body. which is why
Exactly.
I'm not going into any any worry or fear or anything with
Yep.
this. This is just a process now.
And when you guys get back, you guys have Sonic.
Yes.
You've got, all the energy medicine here.
It's just, yeah, it's phenomenal.
And we were talking about that because Sam knew that for 4 years or more that something, they were leaking.
About 3 years.
About 3 years.
In the last 18 months, I was very aware that something was wrong. I was going to get something. I worked out some dates actually. I looked into getting them replaced in 2020, and then the whole world crazy hit. So that kind of put a stop to it. And then I decided to come here, and then I've had them removed, which is just awesome. And now we find out a few other bits and pieces, and it's just the journey when you connect the dots back is incredible.
Yeah.
Well, and then we were talking about the emotional perspective, because the fact is that, and this is what the Perfect Day strategy is all about, both emotionally and physically, is that we want to put ourselves first and foremost. So we want to love, honor, respect, trust, forgive, protect ourselves first and foremost, and love ourselves unconditionally before anyone or anything else. And so Sam hadn't been involved in the Darryl Wolf protocols and the strategies, and so she wouldn't have let that go for the amount of time that you would let it go if you were a brave, if you're following the Braveheart Emotional Intelligence protocols.
I wouldn't have got to this point of having them removed if I hadn't have come here and done this amazing work. And it's 100% saved my life when we think about this really, really seriously. I know it's my turn to get a bit emotional. And I've been reflecting on 24 years these things were in, and there was occasions where I knew something wasn't quite right and I overrode it. And I've been reflecting on why is that? And it's the programming and just having absolutely no love for self. And then what's happened since waking up is the love I have for my body is off the scale, and the fact that it has not only survived but kept me as well as it has throughout all of this and everything that I've done to it, and it's still going, and now it has the opportunity to just thrive. It's just amazing. I'm just so
Absolutely.
happy.
And it's so wonderful. I was saying to Sam, it's so wonderful. I was saying to my daughter last night too as well. And that, now I can actually, not, the left one's a little bit, but this one's actually, I could really feel this one. And it's just really nice to just kind of feel it and not have these things, really, point, point, point. I mean, what a darn. I mean, look at, no wonder I was like a shield of steel, right? So here we are, we got the shield of steel. So don't you come near my heart, baby, because you got to come through these things.
Right.
They're encapsulated with toxic metal,
Yeah.
scar tissue, and so you got to try to come through this.
Yeah.
Baby.
That's so interesting. So when I first woke up, and I don't know if I was in recovery, I don't know if you heard this, or if I was where I was, but it was when I first woke up and I was crying slightly, and one of the nurses trying to comfort me, and I was like, no, I'm happy. They're happy tears. I feel free.
Yep.
It was the first thing that came out. I was like, I feel free. and then I was chatting to a friend the other day, and she was like, they were just exactly the same. They were protecting your heart, and now it doesn't need protecting anymore. And I was like, yeah, that's totally right. It's so cool. So cool.
So ladies, we've been through pretty much all the questions have been answered that we had lined up for you. I just want to read a comment from Faye Prince. Wow, they look so heavy. I wanted those when I was younger, but I'm so glad I chose not to. You girls are so very brave and wonderful to be leading the way for empowering women everywhere. So thank you, Faye.
Thank you, Faye. I love you, Faye.
And we all want to know, what are your plans when you're feeling better?
Oh, well, I know what my plans are. I'm going to continue this global march, and I'm going to create a one-day masterclass from implants to explants, and that's going to be on the platform, as well as I'm going to be traveling, doing personal treatments and training, and doing where I can come to you, and if you have a group of women, and we can prepare yourselves for the surgery, so we can do pre, rest, and post phase, and we can go through it nutritionally, go through all of the strategies, because I have a story. And I have a story that I'm going to share with every single one of you. And this is what this is all about. This is what I've been designed to do. 35 years has brought me to this point. and 35 years, I am going to take this and I'm going to help every one of you, whatever way you want. If I need to give you just like one little tip, that's fine. Even the tip on how we can put this bra on easier. I mean, the little hooks, like, yeah. I mean, there's like all of it like makes so much sense. The tip of this thing, and the fact is that this type of drainage system, we could shower with it, and many of the other ones in North America, oh, they couldn't shower until they got their drainage tubes out. Oh no, we've been able to shower so we can sit beside each other. And so that's what this is about, and I'm going to do all of these and the pain-free pelvis course and work with you, Dawn, and I mean, this is what this is about. And so let's unite, because we've been divided so much, and let's unite in this goddess, wonderful divine femininity that we have. And I thank every single one of you for the beautiful outpouring of support, everything that has come through in any way, shape, or form, the energy from all the staff at the World Healing and Training Center, the beautiful people associated with it, you, Dawn, all of you. Lorraine, she's just been like the best ever. I thank you and I love you dearly. She is a brave heart goddess. And Sam, oh, we've had so many laughs. It's been incredible. It's been an incredible journey, and I could not have thought of two better women to go on it with.
And it's still continuing, right? So with what Sharon was saying now, with all the knowledge that we have, we'll definitely be sharing this message. If we can help one woman to either travel through this journey with ease or not go there at all, like incredible. And just see what happens with the journey that unfolds going forwards. And I just feel so blessed. And what Sharon was saying about all of the support we've had and the messages, and you can feel the energy, right?
Yeah.
I felt like I've just been in a bubble of support and love.
And the one person that I want to make sure that I do not forget to thank is my beautiful daughter, Alexandra. And she is an advocate for breast explants. She talks to all of her friends. She's 28 years old and she's pregnant. She's 7 months pregnant with my grandson. And she's with with her beautiful partner, Ross, and my beautiful granddaughter, Maria. And she is an advocate and she is spreading the word. At the age of 28, she is enlightened and she knows what's going on. And I thank you, Alex. I really love you dearly.
But you know that's because
Of you,
right?
Well, you know what?
You had a hand in that. You planted the seed.
I planted the seed, but you know what? So many times she would I would say, you know, honey, I'm just throwing, I would just throw a pebble at her. I wouldn't even say I was throwing a pebble at her, see if it stuck and whatever. And then she would go, months later, she goes, you know what, Mom, I do actually listen to some of this stuff.
So speaking of seeds,
out there, see if it gets bounced back or not.
yeah.
and eventually, we just got to keep throwing those seeds out, those pebbles, whatever it is you choose.
Exactly.
The outcome of that, but just know that you're sending it with an intention of love, and
Yep. And I want to speak to the audience for a minute. Speaking about planting seeds, guys, it's so important to share these videos. This has been a 5-part series that Sharon and Sam have shared with the world. Please share the videos. Never underestimate the power of a seed. You know, sometimes it could take months or years for one woman to decide to take her health and her life back and stand in her power and go from self-loathe to self-love, then from self-love to self-care, just as these beautiful women have done. Please, please share. This is so important. These ladies are on a global mission to reach every woman out there, and men for that matter. I don't think they're prejudiced to either one, but please share.
And a whole support system. I mean, men need to be able to honor their women the way that they are, and so it doesn't have to do with analyzing them as far as what their breast size is, or whether their butt is this big or whatever it is. I mean, all of this stuff. So honor them the way they are and love them, because you love yourself first, and then you can inspire the love within them.
Yeah,
that's right.
That is the protective quality that we need the men to stand up to be as divine masculinity.
If we can help create that environment for women so that they're then supported by their families through this process, and how we can help them with that as well, that's so super important, because this whole process has been so easy because of the support that we've had.
And there's been some beautiful men that have reached out to me in very like high levels of support, and they get it. And it's so wonderful. It is so wonderful because this is what we're doing with this powerful platform with Daryl Wolf.
I mean,
amazing.
the ratio of men to women, there's been more women reaching out, but the men that do, because I've had a couple as well, you're just like, come on, this is awesome. It's just,
And start off with a perfect date consultation. That's where it starts. Start off with the strategy associated with the perfect date consultation. Get an emotional consultation if you're wanting to work through these steps, because it's all about emotional intelligence. It starts with the emotion. So it doesn't mean that you've got to phone us up and say, hey, I'm all ready to get my explant. It's a process. It was a process for myself. It was a process for Sam.
100%.
It's a process for everybody. And this process is your journey. It's not a destination, it's a journey.
And if we'd have done this like straight away, we wouldn't have been in this healthy state to manage and come through this surgery with such ease. So there is a process. It's better to do the protocols for a time, get yourself ready, and then see it as a journey rather than a snap.
And go onto the docofdetox.com and pick your consultant and start your journey, because you deserve it, and every single woman deserves it. And as we are going through this and being down at the healing center for the amount of time, almost a year for myself, and most of us is coming up to a year, is that we've observed so many individuals coming through the process, as well as even us. And there's still layers. I mean, it'll never end. It'll never end. And this here is still teaching me. It's still teaching me. And it's okay, because you watch it, baby. When I come back on this one, I am coming out of here and I'm vibrating so high, you're not going to be able to stop me.
Bam.
In our funky trousers.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we're going to do.
Bam, ladies. Well, it's about time that we sign off. I think I'm getting booted out of the studio. So
And thank you,
I love you
Dawn.
guys so much, and you're such an inspiration to women out there. It's just, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. We appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to give you guys the biggest hug when you get back to Ixtapa, along with a bunch of other people.
We love you, Dawn, and thank you for all of your assistance on this, and we look forward to next week's show. Okay, beautiful, Braveheart
Ditto.
women. And shall we end with the oath?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, who's going to say it? All of us?
All of us together.
Okay, are we going to say it the same?
We'll give it a go.
Okay.
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 3, 2, 1. I am love. I am healed. I am Braveheart.
Braveheart.
Every day,
Today and every day, from the moment
moment
I
I rise and I gently close my eyes, I will trust, honor, respect, protect, forgive, and totally love myself unconditionally
conditionally,
before
first and foremost, before anyone
or anything. So
so
help
help
me
me God, because
because
I
am,
am healed. I am
Braveheart.
Goddess. Hear us roar.
3, 2, 1.
You got
Got
this.
this.
Love you all. See you next time.
Bye.